gentlemen, we about to put it down for Raw City, the Junction City, and I love this place.
Welcome out to the Ogden Wire. We are here today to talk about shopping local and supporting local at this holiday season time of year. That's always a big push. Clearly, we have some wonderful guests with us in the studio from the Ogden Downtown Alliance. You guys introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about ODA and what it is you guys do.
Yeah, I am Jessica Anderson, and I am the Marketing and Communications Manager at the Ogden Downtown Alliance. I've been there about 3 years, and I really love this job and being involved in the community and getting to know all of our small business owners. Ogden's a unique gem here.
Yeah, absolutely agree. My name is Cecily Kiss, and I am the Community Partnerships Director at the Ogden Downtown Alliance. I have been with ODA since February, and I think one of the highlights of our roles is being able to connect with so many different facets of our community and be involved with so many of the small businesses and being able to elevate and amplify their messaging. And I know that a bunch of them have some great deals and some great gifts this holiday season.
Well, since you guys are in the know, let's get into some of them and tell us what's happening downtown. Obviously, Christmas Village now in full swing. Lots of people coming out to see the lights and maybe grab some dinner, but what else can they experience shopping-wise as they stroll on down our downtown area?
This is actually a great thing for us to talk about today because last Saturday we were actually just downtown doing a shop small Saturday with a bunch of friends, probably about 30 of us. And so, yeah, we just had downtown last Saturday and also participated in Craft Lake City when it was there at Union Station, and spends our money with the local economy and keeps the money circulating locally.
So what's special about the downtown area? Like, what makes Ogden's downtown unique for holiday shopping if you want to keep things local?
I think there are so many shops and opportunities for folks who want to support local makers and artisans. We're so lucky that we produce Farmers Market Ogden, and we get to work with so many amazing local artisans and makers. And what I've seen is a lot of our small shops in Ogden support the same thing. So if you go into Beehive Naturals, not only are they making their own amazing products like locally handmade soaps, but they also have a ton of different products from other local makers and businesses. You can buy birria bombs that you can pop in your crock pot, or you can buy mushroom growing kits. I know that's on my wish list. They have lots of different honeys and all sorts of goodies. You can also go to Lavender Vinyl and find some local artists that are there. You can find so many different handmade cards and goods, hand-poured candles at Jungle Room, Plant Co. You can make your own candle at one of the shops, at Art Box. And so there are so many opportunities to support local. I love some of my favorites. Wild Meraki just opened on 27th Street, and they have an amazing selection of curated teas and handmade and locally sourced bath and body products and wholesale herbs and whatnot. And then just right next door is Salt and Hops, so you can grab some beverages for when you're wrapping those presents, or they have some unique offerings such as non-alcoholic liqueurs and mixers and cocktail shakers. I mean, there really are so many options in downtown Ogden, and not just on 25th Street, but in the Junction, you have Local Artisan Collective. Ogden Downtown Alliance was just there 2 nights ago. We got to make our own Christmas ornaments with a marbling technique, but they also carry, dozens upon dozens of local artists' goods that are handmade right here in Ogden. When you spend your dollars there, you're supporting local community members and putting money back into their pockets so that they can buy their friends and family holiday gifts as well.
Yeah. And on the Artisan Collective, it's not just the products that you can buy in there. You can also book a class, give someone a class for a gift, let them learn how to do stained glass or jewelry making or any of the myriad of things you can do in the Artisan Collective. One of my favorite places in Ogden for sure. Mm-hmm. Obviously, this can go out to the restaurants as well. All the restaurants offer gift cards. All of our local restaurants downtown, great way to go out and support our locals. And it's a popular time of year for like kind of company office gatherings. Let's go to our holiday lunch. Make sure you're getting out and supporting our local restaurants during that one too. And if you're looking for a list of those, I mean, the Ogden Eats, which just wrapped up, has a great summary of all that and all those great restaurants that did that. So.
Yeah, places like Sonora Grill is really good for group gatherings, and I think a lot of people go to Slackwater for their staff lunches and things. We at Visit Ogden oftentimes get Union Grill to cater our holiday party or our special events, so I know a lot of people do stuff like that. What is it when you are choosing to shop at a local store rather than go to a big box retailer or shop online? What does that do for the community?
Well, for me, while they're thinking about it, I'm going to jump in and say all the little raffles and support of Little League football and high school baseball games. I mean, all these little things. If you look at the outfield fences, you look at the raffle items that you bid on for local organizations, 90% of that stuff is coming from our locally owned businesses that are throwing that in there. It is Steve from Sonora Grill, and it's Kim and Pete from Roosters, and you're always getting the same gift. But those are the things that add viability to like things like the YCC or the Goal Foundation or all kinds of our nonprofits that operate in our town that keep our community vibrant and alive and bringing cool events and everything. I see the local support as huge for that, and the only way they can do that is if we in turn support them through local shopping. So that, to me, that's a big one.
Yeah, truly. It builds community sustainability, and it builds a thriving ecosystem where you're supporting your neighbors. You're putting dollars into the pockets of your neighbors, and you're creating a possibility and an opportunity for them to continue doing what they love and feeding their families. And it keeps our economy thriving. But it really creates that opportunity. If someone's not purchasing those goods locally, then that maker, that artist might not be able to stay in business. And it also I think those locally made gifts, those things that you can find here, they carry so much more meaning than something that you're going to find online or in a big box store, because the things you're finding locally are unique.
Oftentimes I think about what it means to be a tourist in a community. And when you're visiting a community, you're not going to the chains. You're looking in and you're finding what makes this community unique, what makes these locals thrive. And as a visitor in places, I'm often going and supporting local. I think it can, the holiday season is when Americans spend a lot of money, and to keep that money within the community to feed your neighbor's children rather than an online giant that's taking a 20% cut of all proceeds. That's a direct way to support local. It's one of the best ways you can support your neighbors as a consumer is to take your money. We have power as consumers, and that power is our spending. And when we carefully and mindfully choose where we spend our money, and when we think about other people in our lives, and when we think about how we can both support local and support them by showing them we love them, I mean, local gifts, to your point, local gifts show that you care. It's not just checking a box of somebody's list. You're going into a store and you have the people that you love in your mind. And when you see something that reminds you of them, you purchase it. And that doesn't just support your love of your family, but it supports your love of your community. And I think it's so important, especially in this year of 2025, where, things are very expensive and it's hard to shop this holiday season for many Americans.
I think shopping locally too shows the effort. Like it's easy to add something to your Amazon cart. It's more difficult to spend a couple hours walking downtown, going in and out of shops, looking for the perfect gift for your significant other or any family member. And when you do find one, I feel like it's a better experience too. You feel excited to give a gift to somebody. And I think it's part of what makes the holiday season so special.
I think even to that point, I know, Jess, I was downtown shopping with you last weekend, and I am not a big shopper. I'm the person who kind of is in and out, but I do want to find those meaningful gifts. And so I asked a few of the business owners, okay, this is who I'm looking for. This is how old they are. I've got a 5-year-old kid or whatever it may be. And I know, Kai at Lavender Vinyl was happy to tell me, oh, I think this would be a great record for this person. And Marissa at Mariposa was saying, oh, we have lots of kids stuff upstairs, which I might not have known when I first walked in there. And so I think being able to have those conversations with the business owners who are curating their storefronts and finding these unique locally made or handmade or sourced goods allows you to bring it back to a community level where you're not just typing something in a search bar, you're having those conversations with the people who are providing these goods. And I really think that builds community in so many ways.
100%. I'm also all for commissioning artists to do things. Ogden has a lot of really great artists. I know people commission folks to do stuff. We can AI generate an image of someone with their dog who's in heaven now, or we can get a local artist to commission that portrait of the dog. And when you support local like that, you're bringing your story to them and they're bringing their story to you. It's holistic. It's a circle. It's a community ecosystem first and foremost.
I love that so much, Taylor, and I think I would feel so bad if I didn't mention handmade food gifts are so big. So we've talked a little bit about, spending your dollars at local restaurants, whether you're grabbing lunch while you're out shopping or looking at, your businesses, holiday parties. But I think that food gifts are also a great option. I love to eat, so there are a lot of local restaurants and bakeries. There's Butter My Bread Bakery where you can get a curated box of cookies, or you could stop in Sapori and buy a box of, different cream puffs and eclairs, or, stop in Farmers Market, which after the season, but there are so many different food goods that you can treat your friends and family to as well.
And let's not forget our alcohol friends with
Yep.
New World Distillery and Ogden's own distillery. Really unique gifts that really reflect that local kind of flavor, literally, and worth going out of your way. And again, you can also book tours and distillery tours at New World Distillery, things like that. That makes a great gift. A tasting in a distillery tour is a pretty cool experience if you haven't had one yet. So. And then now we're starting to stretch out of our downtown area a little bit. I mean, and there are other great local businesses outside of the downtown area. Newgate Mall, strangely, it used to be where you'd find all the big chains, the big stores, all the big brands. It's more or less become an entrepreneur's incubator over there. There's a lot of independent businesses, several bookstores in there now. I was in there the other day. Worth going in and checking out the independent shops in our malls and our shopping centers like that too, because they are around and you can figure out pretty quick which one the independents are, and those are your neighbors and friends, and get out and support them. So
I also think that Ogden is one of the best places in northern Utah to buy second-hand clothing and vintage clothing. Reborn Vintage is a incredible store along 25th Street. He does markets. He does local seller markets, and boy, do all the kids come up for that. I think we have a ton of resale vintage clothing that I think people are very interested in these days. And the Newgate Mall is a place to go and walk around and enjoy American malls. And it's so great.
And I'm gonna give a little love to one for stocking stuffers, because it's easy to go into the Walmarts and the Targets and get your last minute stocking stuffers. Give Smith & Edwards a shot. Honestly, if you want some unique stocking stuffers with a locally owned store that's been here forever, it's an experience. Go to Smith & Edwards and try it. You'll get that. If you want your one-stop shopping, you can even still do that locally. So,
well, this has been a great roundup. I think beyond just talking about it, I want to go around the circle, and I want everybody to share their favorite store in Ogden to shop locally at. Hopefully we get different ones. And we can just have a few more mentions. I don't know who wants to start.
Jump over and start with Shaylee. I've talked enough.
I have 2 notes on here. I'll tell you my favorites, and then I'll also say that if you're looking at your list and you have items on there that you think a local shop is not going to have, and that you have to turn towards the big box stores to get, you are wrong. There are shops in our area that have the, quote, big box items that are going to give you a personalized experience. For instance, if you have a skier in your life, There are places like the Salomon Center who, instead of just sending you out with your skis, they're going to give you a personalized experience and give you those recommendations that are specific to the skier in your life. So I like places like that. But then two of my favorite shops to get gifts in, one is new. It's the Romantics Archive on 25th Street. It is a new romance bookstore. They also have a small fiction section. For the reader in your life, this is the perfect place to get a book. And again, you can get that personalized recommendation from the shop owners who are going to sit there and engage with you and build that community aspect. And then one of my favorite other places, similar to Smith & Edwards, where you can find some really unique stocking stuffers and gifts, is the Rainbow Gardens on 12th Street. They are an Ogden staple who have been around for decades, and you can find everything from unique Utah-made chocolates to put in your kiddos' stockings to the gifts for your mother-in-law who has everything. So it's just a great one-stop shop.
That's awesome.
I love shopping. It's like my favorite pastime, my favorite hobby. And so around this time of year, I always clean out my closet because I never know what to ask for, so I always ask for clothes. And so my two favorite places to shop for clothes in downtown Ogden is Mariposa, just because that one is also like secondhand, and it's like she goes through and like picks like specific pieces that like fit the vibe of the times, and I just love it. So that place. Also Honey and Lime, I think, has really good clothing options. And when you like shop at these local community stores, I think it helps you feel more a part of the community, and then you like recognize all the shop owners out on the street, and you just have new friends. So I love that.
This is so hard, and I know that I've already mentioned so many, so I think rather than admitting to favorites and losing friends, I will just bring up a couple that haven't been brought up yet. Also great for stocking stuffers is Queen Bee Giftery. They have lots of great cards, stocking stuffers, chocolates, jewelry, and some just fun items. Kids' books, they have a lot of those there. And then I would also say one of my favorites that is downtown is Jungle Room Plant Co. You can get hand-poured candles and plants and cards, and they just have a really great selection of things that are made here in Ogden. They also do some activities, so they have some little terrarium classes and things like that if you're looking for experiences, or O-Town Food Tours is another great one if you're looking for an experience gift.
That was what I was just going to say, actually. So thank you, Cecily. I kind of this year want to lean a little more towards experiences, gifting and experience. And Rick Proffer with O-Town Food Tours does a really awesome food tour. He does 3 of them, actually. So there's one for Bites and Brews, where you can get alcoholic beverages while you're eating. There's one that's non-alcoholic, his regular food tour, and then he just introduced a dessert focused food tour as well. So I think that's a really fun experience for you to make memories with the people you love. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Alpine Sports, our longtime local ski shop. Once a year, you got to stop in and get your skis waxed anyway, get them tuned up. You might as well pop over into the retail portion. Always have kind of like what you're looking for, the best Sorels, good winter boots, great gloves, great place for accessories, things like goggles and stuff like that. And then they've got all the top high-end apparel that you can get in Ogden. So I'm going with Alpine Sports on that one. How about you, Taylor?
I think Recreation Outlet, because they're about to close and you can literally give them a price for things right now, apparently. And with the Weber State Downtown store, that's where I get my dad wears his Ogden sweatshirt. I got him there like literally every time I see him. Yep. I'm like, you don't have to wear Ogden gear around me, Dad. Well, thank you both for coming. Thank you to the Visit Ogden team for being here for the Ogden Wire. Get out there, shop local this December. You have a few more days left till Christmas, and you can always do more afterwards. For more information and for listings, you can go to visitogden.com. We got plenty of shopping information there.
All of the drinks. Is this my town? I love this place. Can we get down? I love this place. Ogden all day. I love this place. I love this place. I love this place. Is this my town? I love this place. Can we get down? I love this place. Ogden. Ogden all day. I love this place, I love this place, I love this place.